with just a little bit of everything. So it's so hard to say, like, what is this YouTube channel about? Being boogers off of windows and walls. The person you're looking at now, she wasn't this. Hi. Let me pick up all of my camera stuff. Just wanted to do a little intro, a little hey. My name is Jordan. My intro video that I did on YouTube was alright. It was alright. But it doesn't really give you insight into who I am. And I kind of wanted to do just a little teeny tiny intro. I started this YouTube channel as a way to just kind of share my hobbies and my life. And I think I have some knowledge and just tips in navigating life of what I've overcome. And I think that imposter syndrome hits a little harder on some days because, you always think someone else had it harder than I. So if I share my story and the things that I've overcome and the things that I've learned and how I learned those lessons, even if they have a good story and a good lesson in it, sometimes it's hard to share that because I know, for me at least, when that imposter syndrome comes up and I ask those thoughts, start rising up, it can be really hard to just be like, I have a right to share my voice the same as everybody else, while also being extremely mindful of other people in our communities who have it even harder and even easier. The spectrum is definitely out there, and I really want to be sure that the way that I present myself and any tips or advice, if it doesn't resonate with you, that's totally fine. And we're two different people. We have two very different lives, two very different experiences. And I think most people tend to kind of save these videos until they need to have a response or they need to address something. And I think I just kind of want to do it now. And that maybe this will kind of set me free from any possible fears in the future. And no matter what, people have things to say, and they're going to say them. And we're always learning lessons, whether it's through rejection or acceptance. And yeah. So anyway, my name is Jordan, and I have 2 dogs, a cat, and a snake. I absolutely adore reptiles. I've had over 5 when we lived in Oregon. We have since moved to the East Coast, and that was probably one of the coolest things that we've ever done. Have not traveled internationally, which I'm really hoping to do next year. We just have some family stuff going on that I want to stay close to home just in case any last minute flights are needed, you know what I mean? So on top of that, our sweet golden is 9, he's turning 10. His name is Cooper, and he hurt his back paw, and we have no idea what's going on with that yet. We go and see a specialist on Tuesday, so in 3 days. So hopefully that'll give us some more insight. We have a 2-year-old going on 3 mini Aussie. His name is Ronan, Macadoodle Dandy, Macaroni. He has a little jingle that I sing him, and he's incredibly fearful of other dogs, and he shows that through aggression. So you might see a lot of that reactivity training and trying to help him overcome those fears. So just a public service announcement, please keep your dogs on leash, especially if they are not reliable recall 100% of the time. I can't even tell you how many times that we've been like bombarded by off-leash dogs, like in town, crazy. But all that does is make him even more fearful and even more reactive. So it is It is a lesson in patience, and it's a lesson in faith, and it is a lesson in overcoming that and helping somebody through that who is just so sadly unaware of the world and how beautiful and lovely it can be. So may we all take a lesson from Ronan and face our fears. Our cat, Jack, is, he's probably, his age is always going to be up in the air because we rescued him, so we don't really know when he was born. But I think he was around, I honestly think he was a kitten. He's pretty small for his age, so that's where I always kind of am curious if he was small when we rescued him from malnutrition or if it was, he's just generally a small cat. But either way, he is, God, I think he's going on 7. That's crazy. I'm going to say, I'm going to say 5 until I can do the math. I'll throw the number up here when I do it. But we rescued him. We actually ended up living with my husband's grandma for a couple years and helped took care of her while we were getting a house built, and ended up only living there for 2 years before moving. I don't think we really anticipated how expensive taxes were going to be. Property taxes were where we were at. So it was unfortunate, but in the end, I think it was a really good choice for us to leave. But back to Jack. When he's spicy, we call him Jackal. And he is a very snotty, boogery cat. He was a barn cat that we essentially rescued, brought in when we were living with my husband's grandma. She had a bunch of barn cats that she would take care of, and I would help her feed the cats in the morning. And you hear this little, sounds like a 80-year-old cigarette smoking, hacking cough or wheezing, And I look over and I just see this cute, tiny baby kitten, and I just shoved him into my sweater, ran him up to our bedroom, and hey, you were literally about to scratch your face off. Good Lord. You okay? Anyway, we shoved him in my sweatshirt and ran him upstairs. We had to pick his nose because they were completely sealed shut from dry boogers and he couldn't breathe. And out of this teeny tiny little kitten, I will never understand how so much sinus snot came out of him. And I'm talking long pieces. I genuinely don't know where it fit. I have no idea. It makes no sense. But jumping to where he is now, he's gone on a few different rounds of antibiotics, and our vet essentially said that there's thousands of viral infections that cats can get. It is near impossible to test for them, so we went through the 3 rounds of the top most common ones, and none of those helped, and we didn't want to jeopardize his health any further by giving him more of those hardcore antibiotics. So we just said fuck it, and we will forever be wiping that dude's nose and wiping boogers off of windows and walls and literally anything. He's a very lovey boy. He loves to cuddle. He loves to sleep. But, sometimes he'll walk up behind you and just do a big sneeze and head shake, and you just try to take cover quickly before it lands in your hair, which has happened. It's very disgusting. Not everyone's cup of tea, but you know what? He's our baby. He's our sweet little boogery boy, and it's just life. It is our life, I guess. And my husband and I have been together for 10 years, which is kind of crazy to say, given that I'm 34. But we've been together for 10 years, and I don't even know what to tell you, because the person you're looking at now, she wasn't this, which is good. Everyone should grow. Everyone should try to expand on themselves. But he came into my life when I was at my worst, absolutely at my worst. And thank God, I'm so thankful that he's stayed and got me through a lot of my own self-growth journey. That man is amazing, and I will love him till the day I die, and probably in the afterlife. One cute thing I will tell you is that through a weird chain of events, I ended up working as a receptionist at his family's business, and the the first time that I saw him, this little voice in my head, which I could hear, said, "Oh, that's my husband." And I was just like, God, Jordan, don't be weird. That's weird. It's so crazy. That's weird. And then I just couldn't, I was just infatuated with him. His smile, he was so cute, and he was so respectful and not just a typical douchey dude, And I had just gotten out of a kind of emotionally abusive relationship through so many things, and now we're just finally at a place where we don't really have obligation to anyone because we're in a town. We don't really have friends because we moved here, got a camper, as you saw in the video, and then immediately went back home to visit friends and family because we'd been gone for about a year at that point. So this is our first full year here. Actually, last week, today is May 19th, I think. May 19th, and last year, May 4th was when we left to drive down to Maryland to get our camper, and then drove back to Oregon for 4 months. Well, it was a 4-month round trip, but regardless, we're just in a place now where life feels like I can live, and I don't know if you can relate to that feeling. But I've been through some shit, and I'm so happy that my husband hadn't really gone through as much trauma as me, because I think that really allowed him to just be there for me and help me heal in so many areas, including sex and intimacy and self-love and self-worth. I could probably cry if I think about it too much. But anyway, he's just a great man, and it's just wild that I feel like we've done so much work, and I've done so much fucking work. If you knew me 10 years ago, you'd be like, that chick is a hot fucking mess, and I probably would have agreed with you. But I hit a wall where I was like, I can't fucking live like this anymore, and that spark, whatever that fed up, energy was, really keeps me going and keeps me improving and wants me to be better and better and show up. And anyway, I'm really proud of myself for how far I've come, but now we're finally at a place where I think it's almost like that pivot of where you're, I hear people all the time talk about it on TikTok, because I love watching tarot readings and psychics and astrology and aliens. I'm very, very in that realm. Love it. Ghosts, love it. And I feel like now is my era of switching out of that. Oh God, if I can find the video, I'm going to tag the creator who said this, because she's just a very lovely Black woman, and she just gave this powerful message, and it just has stuck with me ever since. But she essentially had said what is the warrior to do when there's no more war? And you just have to live, when your purpose shifts like that, it can kind of be jarring, and I'm recognizing that, and I'm recognizing how more at peace I'm feeling and how I'm leaning into the peace and I'm not finding things or searching for things to work on. I'm just like, oh, okay, like this is rest. This is the aftermath of doing all the work. And with that, I really want to start doing more things in nature, and I really want to vlog and just be outside and share life and help people work on themselves and also help them like get connected. And there's so many ways to do it. There's just so many different ways to do it. And so that's kind of where I see this going, with just a little bit of everything. So it's so hard to say, like, what is this YouTube channel about? It's about life. It is just about life. My life, yeah, my husband's, but also, to be quite honest, I think we need more of him, and examples of him in the world. So sometimes we just get into so many conversations where I'm like, I wish I was recording that because that was chef's kiss gold and I'll never be able to regurgitate the things he says. But I think that's it about with our little family. So I hope you guys join along. I hope that this is something that is fun and inspiring and, I don't know, motivates you in some way, shape, or form. But I think that's it. I think this was also an amazing test for the new mic. Hopefully the audio is good. It definitely still picks up a lot of that, like, mouth noises that you make, saliva, all of that. So I will have to learn how to tone that down, but in the meantime, I hope you guys love it. Please share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next adventure. Bye.